So welcome, Michelle. It's so good to have you today.
Thank you so much for having me, Maggie.
So tell us a little bit about what you do and what inspired you to do what you're doing now.
Well, you can do whatever you want to do, but then do we actually really give them that in reality?
And your answer you came up with?
Oh, so when I decided that I needed to move forward, I actually decided to put myself first and that actually I needed to concentrate on what would make me happy so that I could actually move forward in life. Otherwise, I just couldn't do it a moment longer. So I made an action plan and I took steps to make myself happy. And part of that was deciding that the job that I was doing, even though I thought it was fulfilling my soul purpose, it actually wasn't filling me up. And I had to change what I was doing.
What were you doing? Were you in a high-powered job, or what were you doing?
I was managing a very large natural therapies college, which was fantastic, and it's still a fantastic place. And I will forever be grateful for the lessons it taught me and the people it put me in front of. But it just wasn't fulfilling the need that I came here to do. I feel that I'm here to raise a woman up, to raise their vibrations, to make them great, and I could do that better by doing something else.
So when you decided to leave this wonderful career and do something different, what were the action steps? Because you said you put some action steps in place. What were those?
You know, the first thing I did was I got a coach. I knew that if I kept doing the same old thing, I was just going to get the same old results. I'd been doing that for 30 odd years, and that's where it had led me. So I decided I needed outside help. And it wasn't until I got a coach that could give me an overview and help me to really examine those stories that I was telling myself that were keeping me stuck. Like, I need the money, I need a secure job, I need the recognition. You don't need any of those things. So the first thing I did was got a coach, and she helped me to get a plan in place.
So it wasn't really just let's put a plan in place and execute the plan. It was a little bit deeper than that. Can you tell us a little bit about that journey?
Yeah, it was way deeper than putting a plan into action and doing it. I mean, a plan on its own is going to get you nowhere, because a plan on its own is just you doing exactly what you've always done. So it was a lot of soul searching, a whole lot of journaling around how did I get myself to this place? Who is the woman that is able to move forward out of this place? It was a lot of soul searching, and that's hard work. That's really hard work, because you have to actually face up to the rubbish that you tell yourself.
Sorry, I thought I lost you. That's okay.
Yeah.
I can edit that part out, so don't worry about it. So tell me some of the obstacles and the fears that you encountered during that phase, that journaling and really taking a deep, hard look at what was going on underneath it all.
Yeah, so there were some massive blocks there. I mean, there's 20 that I could tell you about, but I'll tell you about the most common ones that your listeners are probably experiencing as well. So the money block was huge. How could I leave my well-paying corporate job and decide to do something that I was actually passionate about? That was incredibly scary. And if you're not feeling the fear, then I'm not convinced that you're actually on your soul path anyway. Like, I'm still scared today. So there are always things that scare you. It's about moving past that fear and doing it anyway. So I really did have to take a leap of faith. Without that leap of faith, I wouldn't have got to where I am now.
So what were the obstacles that kept you from taking that leap of faith?
Mindset. Truly, it was mindset that was in the way. It wasn't that I couldn't afford to not do my job for a little while. We had enough money in the bank, but I kept telling myself that I needed the money. So actually, it was purely mindset. And a lot of that mindset stuff comes from beliefs that we have around money. You know, money doesn't grow on trees. You need a good job if you want to get ahead in life. All of those messages that we pick up from society, from our parents, from our travels along the way. So mindset really was key for me.
And how did you change your mindset?
With my coach, a whole lot of journaling and a whole lot of challenging myself. So every time a thought come up, I'd stop what I was doing and I would journal on it. Where's that belief come from? Is that belief serving me? What can I swap it out for?
Perfect. It sounds like one of the keys to you being able to shift your mindset might have just been in noticing that you had that mindset, right?
Absolutely. That was definitely the first step.
It is, isn't it? Because a lot of us are just out there on automatic pilot, just living day to day, doing the same thing and hoping for something different, or saying someday I'll change it. Someday it'll be okay. Right?
Yeah, or it'll be better when I've got a new job, or it'll be my turn when the kids go to school. No, it won't. There's always going to be something that comes up in your life. You actually have to choose you.
Well, and the interesting part, and I've been facing this recently with myself, you know, I've been on a path of a lot of different transformation in the last, 20 years, and a lot of different things come up in life. Is I think one of the misperceptions is people believe that, oh, okay, I'll change this mindset and it'll never come up again. I'll be fine for the rest of my life. It's a one-shot deal.
That would be awesome if that were true. It's not. So I've cleared a whole lot of money blockages. They come back all the time, but I'm quicker at dealing with them now. I mean, mindset it's a muscle, right? So you run on your treadmill and the next day it's a little bit easier and the next day it's a little bit easier. It's the same with mindset work. So as my beliefs come up now, I'm able to process them and kick them out the back door and replace it with something that actually works for me and moves me towards my goals a whole lot quicker. It might have taken me half a day to move one little belief before, but I can do that in 10 minutes now.
Right. And, you know, for me, one of the most valuable things that I learned from my coach was, you know, the belief or whatever that is going to come up. It's not going to go away forever, but you can just take it and put it aside. You can always get it back, right? You can always pick it back up again. But
it's still going to be there.
Yeah. So let's just put it over to the side. And now let's talk about what's really going on. And then when we're done talking, go ahead and pick it back up if you want to. I love that. It was really, really helpful to me because I was really blocked by, this idea that I can't have it all, that I can't be a successful author and a life coach and a mother of a chronically ill kid and that it had to be this black and white either or until such day as blank, 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 right? And
exactly.
Yeah, and that I think a lot of us, not just women, but a lot of us, really go through this phase too, where you just, because I think what you said before was really great, because you said something like, well, if you don't have some fear around it, is it really worth doing, or something along that line, right? Because I think if it doesn't scare you, what's the point?
Exactly, because then it's not actually hooked into your passion. So when you're doing something that you're completely passionate about, that you're obsessed with, it's your sole purpose, then there's always going to be fear. And fear and excitement are actually on the same frequency. So people confuse the two all along. So people think, oh, if this is feeling fearful, then it's not the right track. It's probably actually excitement. If you're feeling fearful about it, it means it really matters to you.
Yeah. So do you have certain practices other than journaling, it sounds like, that you practice on a daily basis that keep you, pumping along and sane?
Yeah, I really do. And I spend a lot of time on myself, and that might seem selfish. And if it does, then that's awesome, because I'm ready to be selfish. It's important for me to put myself first. Otherwise, I can't serve anyone else. And actually, my biggest fear around being selfish was, am I going to alienate my family and my friends? Do you know what? I didn't. I'm actually able to show up for them better. Now that I take better care of myself, I'm a so much better person to be around. But to answer your question, I have a really strong self-care routine. I get up at 5 o'clock every morning and I start my day with yoga because it's a really gentle way to wake up my body, keeps my body really healthy. And then I exercise, and then I journal while I'm in my sauna, and then I do my mindset work. And if I do that, my day goes absolutely swimmingly. Everything goes exactly how I planned. If I don't do that, things are a challenge. And every now and then you get tired and you think, maybe I'll get up at 6. But pretty soon things start to go back downhill and you realise actually you need to go back to those things that fill up your tank. And it will be different for everyone. I'm not suggesting that everyone should get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, although that does make your day amazing. You need to find what fills your tank and what works for you and stick to that. Don't let anything get in the way. Oh, I went to bed a bit late. So don't go to bed late. Don't watch that television program. Don't have that argument with your child. Just say, I'm unavailable for this at the moment. I'm going to bed.
Yeah, I love that. Do you end your day with any kind of practices as well?
I sure do. I've got some journal prompts that I do, and I always ask myself, what was amazing about today? How did I get proof that I'm an absolutely manifesting queen? What went on in my day that proved that I'm actually on the right path? What can I do better tomorrow? And who did I serve today? Because that's the whole reason I get up at 5 o'clock, to serve my tribe.
So can you tell me a little bit about, give me a little composite of the kind of people that you work with and the kinds of things that they're struggling with? Because I'm almost positive that what you're going to tell me is pretty universal and will help my audience feel a little better at ease in their own world.
Yeah. So the women that I help are the women that they're trotting along, they're smiling on the outside, they're buying their kids ice creams and taking them to the theme park, and they're all over Facebook and, oh, our life's wonderful. And you know what? Their life is not wonderful. It's really not wonderful. They're dying on the inside. They're getting out of bed in the morning and they're going, I have to do this all over again today. I just can't rush from the sport thing to the school interview, to the grocery shopping, to my part-time job, and then I'm supposed to turn up and look beautiful and sexy for my husband. They're overwhelmed. They feel like the world is pressing in on them. And I don't want to use the word midlife crisis because I don't think it is a midlife crisis. I think it's just we've put everything into everyone else and we're just actually an empty bucket. So it's not a midlife crisis. They just need to fill their buckets back up, but they need someone to tell them that it's okay to do that. It's really normal for you to wake up in the morning and think, this sucks, I can't do it. That's just a message from your body, from your soul telling you, hey sister, wake up. This isn't working for you. What else can we do, babe?
I like that. Who do you think has most influenced your life path, or who's been your greatest role model?
Oh, there's so many. I mean, Louise Hay, isn't she amazing?
Yes, she was.
I'm so sad that she's not here. Really, truly. I remember reading her book, You Can Heal Your Life, in my 20s, and it changed my life. It really made me think, actually, Michelle, there are things that you can do to control your life. It made me feel back in control of my life. And when you feel in control of your life, that's when things start to move for you. Yeah,
that's true. So what philosophy do you live by, or what guides your life now?
Do you know what? My absolute favourite quote is don't chase butterflies, build gardens that attract them. And I live my whole life by that. I don't chase things. I don't strive. I mean, I work really hard. Don't get me wrong. I work 12, 13 hours a day because I love what I do, but I don't strive. If it doesn't feel like it's flowing, I stop and I ask myself why it's not flowing. Is it a mental block? Or actually, is it a message from the universe that actually you're on a bit of a wrong track, Michelle? Maybe you need to dial back and change it by 1 degree and move in that direction.
Nice. Yeah, I love that. We don't have to go nuts to have a loving and a perfectly fulfilling life. In fact, I think, at least for me, I know that when I'm really, quote, in the zone, like they describe, and Olympic athletes get into this space of being in the zone where you're just doing what you love so much that you lose all track of space and time. I find that I do that a lot in my job, and that I had a client of mine the other day say to me, you have the greatest career, the greatest job. And I was like, I do. I really do. I have a beautiful office in a sacred space. I teach people to meditate, and I'm a life coach for them as well. And, it's beautiful. And because you do the same sort of thing, and you can watch your clients blossom and grow. And it's not that either or whole thing, at least that I used to come to the party with.
Yeah. So you can have it all. Who says you can't have it all?
Exactly. Yeah. It's just the crazy thoughts that need to be shifted. So what suggestions do you have for anyone that's listening that might be feeling stopped from living that life that they love?
Yeah. Do you know that the one thing that I really find that moves my clients forward the most quickly is reconnecting to yourself, actually finding out who you are, because most often we're floundering around because we've actually lost who we are. We don't actually know what makes us happy anymore. So I've got a resource that I call 4x4 Foundations to Happy. In fact, Maggie, I'll send it to you if you'd like to put it up on your website and share it with everyone.
Sure.
But basically, it's 4 really simple practices. Like, it's going to take you no more than 15 minutes a day, because I'm aware we're all crazy busy. It takes no more than 15 minutes a day, and it's just adding one new practice in each week for 4 weeks. And it starts with finding out what would make you happy. And that seems so trivial, but trust me, it's powerful.
It sounds like it. So where can people learn more about you?
So people can visit my website, www.igniteyourlifewithmichelle.com. Michelle's got 2 L's. But I'd also like to offer your listeners today a free coaching call with me. They'll need a special link for that. So if they contact me via my website, I'll send them the special link and they can book in. And if they're really ready to move forward and they'd really like a slice of my time, then I'm really happy to give it to them.
Terrific. And can you give us your website address again?
Sure. www.igniteyourlifewithmichelle.
Perfect. And so what's the one piece of advice that you would give any of our listeners today at the Life Illuminated podcast?
That, darling, you're worth it. You cannot give from an empty bank. You have to put yourself first. Even though you feel guilty for doing it, trust me, this is the best thing that you can do for your family.
That's awesome. Michelle, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on the Life Illuminated podcast today. And I look forward to catching up with you again in the future and seeing where things are going for you and how everything is.
That's great. Thank you so much for having me, Maggie. It's really been wonderful to talk to you. I think you're doing amazing things.
Oh, thank you. And if you're ever out in California, you come visit.
I sure will. Yeah. The same for you here in New Zealand. You'd love it here.
Yeah. Oh, I bet. You are a lucky lady.
I sure am.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Well, that was good.
Great.
Yeah. Sometimes...
Good.
Go ahead.
Was
I'm sorry.
Sound quality okay?
It was in and out, but I think we're going to be okay. I think I'll be able to edit out some of the things that didn't work so hot. Yeah, and I took myself off of video because it seemed to work better when I wasn't on video. It says right now it's telling me the internet connection is unstable.
Yeah, it took up less internet, I suppose.
Yeah. So it sounds like
you're a fantastic interviewer, Maggie. That was so much fun.
Oh, thank you. That was
awesome.
Well,
yeah, it was.
Yeah, well, I wanted to really get to the heart of what it is that most of us are struggling with, because you see the same kind of client that I see, especially the ones whose kids have left home, gone off to college. And then, I myself was that person just standing in the middle of the living room going, now what? I haven't been haven't been in the workforce in 15 to 18 years, and I am way behind the technological curve. What am I going to do? So it did take a lot of soul searching for me, for sure.
Yeah. And now look at you with all your technology doing podcasts.
Oh my God, self-taught, all of it. Yeah,
Yeah.
big, steep learning curve. Let me tell you. Wow. It took me probably a full year to just figure out how to do any of this stuff. So,
Yeah.
yeah. And now I've learned my lesson and decided to give it away a little bit to others to do for me,
Exactly.
as part of my self-care.
Exactly. Stay in your genius zone and outsource the rest.
There you
Exactly.
go. There you go. Now, how did I meet you? How did I get in connection with you? Are you part of the with Marcus and Andy, or did I get your name from somewhere else?
So my coach actually sent me a link. She sent it to me, and I went on there. Sorry.
Ah, okay. No, I didn't hear you.
Yeah. Oh, and it was the Andrew Ellerman website thing, and I went in and I had a look, and he suggested people, and I was like, oh, none of these people are resonating with me. I'm going to go and have a search around at the other people, and I was like, oh yes, Maggie.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. It's really nice. I just came from a really long weekend. It was an event with Eckhart Tolle.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, I'm part of his School of Awakening. And it started this past weekend. So there's 2 big weekends that bookend a 6-month program. And it was great. I've studied a lot under Deepak Chopra. And so this year I thought, I'm going to try something different. And so I spent a little time with Eckhart this past weekend. He's an interesting and very funny, very funny. But I also love Deepak. So just so much more personable, so well read, just brilliant, very engaging. But so yeah, that was kind of fun. I'm kind of in the space of trying to process a lot of what was said this past weekend. But
Yeah, lots of journaling for you, eh?
yeah. Woo. But yeah, one of the things I was tackling was this whole notion of, can I write the book and do some keynote speaking and still, be with my kids and do the coaching business. And I also teach meditation and do the podcast and everything else. Right. And so it was a great place for me to go into that space with. So I was able to really sort of hear some of my own mindset going crazy.
Do you know how to take a goal, right, and put it in your heart and see if it resonates with you?
Yeah. Oh yeah. The goal resonates. It's just all the stuff around it that make it, right.
Yeah, exactly. Well, so you go, right, what can come off my plate?
Exactly. Yeah. Well, thank you, Michelle. It was really fun.
Thank you. That was my pleasure. And I'll send you the 4x4, and I'll send you the link to that coaching session.
Perfect. Yeah. And I'll let you know when it's edited and when you'll air. And I'll give you the links of where you can get it and promote it on your social media. I'll send you some pictures and things like that.
I'll plaster it everywhere.
All right. Okay, dear. Well, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you, Maggie.
Have a great day.
You too, darling.
Bye.
Bye.